President, distinguished colleagues, my name is Victor Ndoma-Egba. I represent Cross River Central. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I think it should worry us, both as a Senate and as a nation, that so often we, on the floor of these hallowed chambers, discuss the wastage of useful, innocent lives. Day in, day out, that is what is discussed on the floor of these chambers. Like the DSP said, it was just a few days ago, we were discussing the massacre in Mubi Polytechnic, just a few days ago, last week. Today we are discussing this. Every day you pick the newspapers, you listen to television, lives are being squandered. Not just lives, lives of young men and young women who constitute the future of this country. Consequently, we are squandering the future of this country. The way we are going, we might end up without a future. Now, we have moved from just squandering the lives of young men and young women to squandering the lives of young men and young women who are receiving education. Because education is the real resource. An educated youth is the real resource of any nation. But we are squandering that. And we are squandering it with such impunity. Why do we discuss these issues every day? Mr. President, it's because they kill in the most bizarre manner. The best that we'll hear after it is that somebody has been arrested. End of story. Nobody is prosecuted. Nobody is convicted. And the moment people are not prosecuted and convicted for their offenses, we enter into a climate and a regime of impunity. That is where we are now. We have now accepted impunity as a culture. I think these killings must remind us, if we have any belief in tomorrow, if we have any hope in our future, they should remind us that something must be done about the lawlessness in our land and the culture of impunity, which we are now beginning to accept as normal. It is abnormal. We must reject that culture of impunity. The statement democracy is an incomplete statement. It's only complete when it's democracy and the rule of law. That is when it makes sense. So we cannot say we have democracy and stop at democracy. Where is the rule of law content of our democracy? People must begin to pay for their offenses and for their crimes. Mr. President, when things like this happen, we are quick to blame the security agencies. For those of us who have relations and friends in the security agencies, we know the very high price they are having to pay for us to even walk the streets today or sleep in our homes. They are being killed in their numbers. They are being maimed in their numbers. They too are parents. They are children. They are relations of people. And come to think of it, how many security agents do we have in this country with a population of 167 million plus? How many security men can you have to police everywhere? What has happened, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, is a collapse of social values. When we were children growing up, our communities, our traditional rulers, our elders in society, our age grades provided security for everybody. But in the case of these 4 students, we are even told the elders of the community stood by and were watching our future being barbecued, because that is what happened. Mr. President, yes, our security agencies can do more. They should do more. But the business of security in Nigeria today cannot be left in the hands of just security agencies. We must reinvent those traditional values that held our societies together. We must reinvent those values that respected life, human life in the past. We must reinvent the value of being our brother's keepers, and we must reinvent the value of elders providing security for children. Mr. President, what happened in Alu community is totally disgraceful, is bizarre, is unacceptable, and should be condemned by this Senate in the strongest terms. With those words, Mr. President, I join in supporting this motion